Kendall, what does it feel like to be, you grew up in this show, now you're the highest paid supermodel in the world.
It's so crazy because I think that when I was younger, and I'm sure you guys can all attest to this, I was like a huge tomboy, like couldn't really care less about fashion. All I cared about was my horses and like what sports I was playing. So it's really interesting that I think at the beginning, especially of our show, that was more me. And then over time, I think it kind of happened really naturally. Like I can't say I was like, 10 years old dreaming about it, but when I did get to like 14, 15, I was like, wait a minute, this seems so fun. I would take pictures at our house. Like I started with photography. I really loved photography, and I would take pictures of my friends, and then they'd be like, let me take pictures of you, and I just ended up really enjoying it. And it was like, I know it's kind of corny to say, but almost like destiny. Like I think that was what was pushing me that direction, and I like presented the cutest like little modeling book to my mom when I was like 14, and then she did her Kris Jenner things and made it all come to life.
If you weren't a model, what do you think you would be doing?
Honestly, I think I'd probably be in the Olympics or going to the Olympics for horseback riding.
Wow.
That was always my dream,
right.
Was horseback riding.
And do you still ride?
I do. I have 2 horses.
Sammy from Montana said, what do you say to those who accuse you of using your platform on the show to become a model, or that you didn't properly pay your dues?
I mean, again, in the topic of like offensiveness to some of the things that people I think assume about our family, I think, everyone around me, whether it's friends or family, knows how hard I worked and still work, and I did everything that I was supposed to do and had to do to get to the position that I'm at now as a model. I went to every single casting and ran all over not only New York City, but all over Europe trying to, get a job and make my way. Of course, I had a platform, and I never took that for granted. I always knew that that was there, but that almost made my job a little bit harder, only because people, probably didn't want to hire me because I was on a reality TV show.
She actually wouldn't allow us as a family to go to any of the fashion shows.
Why?
And sit front row because she didn't want to be distracted.
Or film.
Yeah.
I took my last name off of my name on like all my modeling cards so that I was taken completely seriously. I mean, I literally like went to like the middle of nowhere castings. Like I definitely worked my way to where I am now. I think it's just a perception that people have that I just was like, give it to me, and I had it. It definitely was not that.
Sasha from Las Vegas wants to know, Kendall, do you only date basketball players, and do they have to be good basketball players in order to get your attention?
No, I actually don't only date basketball players, if anyone's ever done their research. But I'm not ashamed that I have a type. And I'm also a genuine basketball fan, so that just kind of, has happened.
So what's happening with you and Devin Booker?
He's my boyfriend.
You're together.
Yeah.
It seems like you have consciously decided to keep your relationship out of the public eye.
Yeah. It's always I feel like it's always worked better for me that way. And no offense to my older sisters at all, but I think that Kylie and I specifically have, had the opportunity to watch my older sisters, go through marriages and relationships and breakups and all these things and do them
Glad to be there for you.
No, do them pretty publicly, and like, again, no offense to you guys at all, but I think just it was personal preference from like a really young age that I didn't really want to like.
Yeah.
I think it makes my life a lot easier and our relationship a lot better, to be completely honest. I just feel like it's a private matter. It's not really for anybody else to judge or know.